Hey, what's up, Anaheim Ducks fans? Welcome on in to the Halos in the Infield post-game show tonight as the Ducks knock around and defeat the New Jersey Devils by the final of 4-1. Boy, oh boy, what a huge game it was at the Pond in Anaheim. Man, oh man, big win, great month of October leading now into the month of November for the Anaheim Ducks. Dominic Lorenz from Catella Chronicles here for the post-game show. It's been a little while, had a lot of things going on, but we're still following the Anaheim Ducks. Myself, Todd, Zach of Ducks Game Day Breakdown, we're all filling in here on the YouTube, Instagram, and X pages. And again, post-game show tonight, it is going to be a celebratory one tonight as the Anaheim Ducks, our Anaheim Ducks, are cruising through the first 11 games of the season, now improving to a 7-3-1 record. And they have taken down a very good, high-scoring New Jersey Devils team, and we'll get to a little bit into that throughout the post-game show tonight. But happy Sunday to everybody joining us here on the post-game show. 4-1 Ducks. What a way the Ducks have really come back home after that long East Coast road trip. Halloween night, all the emotions of John Gibson coming back in a Detroit Red Wings jersey, and the Ducks get a 5-2 win. Tonight, another tough opponent in an Eastern Conference opponent in the New Jersey Devils. And the Ducks had their way with New Jersey with the exception of the one goal in the third period and a little bit of a push from New Jersey near the end before the empty netter. I'd say the Ducks manhandled the Devils in this game. I know the shots were 33-30 in favor of New Jersey, but if you really break down the film and look at things from top to bottom, I'd say the Anaheim Ducks were in cruise control from start to finish in this game. Early scoring, we're going to break it on down for you. What the heck was the scoring plays in this game? And we'll dive into the box score, kind of conceptualize what this first month plus of the season has been for the Anaheim Ducks, and kind of look forward to what is coming up and how the Ducks are finish off the homestand on Tuesday against Florida, and just kind of figure out where we're at here, and we'll get to your comments as well. And we're going to start off with one of the comments from Andrew. Let's fucking go. We are so goddamn back. Yes, absolutely. The Ducks flying high tonight. Ducks fly together, a 4-1 win against the New Jersey Devils. And we'll take a look at the scoring streak tonight. And it started off by the youngster, the 19-year-old, Beckett Seneca. Fourth goal of the season. Everybody had thoughts about Seneca. Was he going to crack the roster opening day? He did. Was Seneca going to stay with the roster after the 10-game mark, or else his clock would begin to start as a rookie? He has game number 11 here tonight, and he proves why the Anaheim Ducks wanted to keep him on this roster. His fourth goal of the season. He has been such an integral part of these upper 2 or 3 lines for the Anaheim Ducks forwards. And no matter who he's playing with, he is meshing so well. And I think head coach Joe Quenneville sees that progression. The assistant coaches see it. Why not start the clock on this kid if he's going to perform this well? He picks up his fourth goal of the season in the first period. Cutter Gauthier and Ryan Failing get the assist. 1-0 Ducks. Just 4 minutes and 13 seconds into the contest. Then, big bad Frankie Vetrano gets his first goal of the season. It seems weird because Frankie last year was one of the Ducks goal leaders, had so many goals, hat tricks, got the extension. Just his first goal of 2025 on an assist from Jackson Lacombe, his fourth assist of the season. Ducks leading 2-0 over New Jersey after one period. Now, a stat that I want to get to early on here in the postgame show is the Ducks coming into tonight ranked 7th in the NHL in points per game. New Jersey, number 1 in the NHL in points per game. And the Ducks tonight, and we'll talk about Lukáš Dostál after the scoring breakdown. Lukáš did his job and limited this New Jersey offense to just 1 goal. Absolutely amazing stuff from Dostál, who at times had to kind of do a handstand and get things to go his way, but he was the definite captain of the ship tonight. In the second, the Ducks added on another Cutter Gauthier goal, his 7th of the season. assisted by Truba and Seneca. 3-0 Ducks just minutes into the second period. Defense would ramp up. The Ducks did a really good job to complete a very good second period. New Jersey would get on the board in the third with a huge goal, his 10th of the season, assisted from Mercer and Mir. That's kind of the core nucleus for the New Jersey Devils. 3-1 Anaheim. And then late, New Jersey would have a little bit of a push, I would say, from the 8-minute mark to about the 3-minute mark. Maybe a little bit less, the 2-minute mark when that empty netter came in for the Ducks by Chris Kreider, his 6th of the year. They kind of threw everything at the kitchen sink at that point, and after the TV timeout, New Jersey ended up pulling their netminder in Allen with 3 minutes and change left, and the Ducks, helter-skelter moments, Dostal passing it off of a Devils player, a mess in front of the net. Defense was able to stand strong. Dostal got the shoulders, kind of knocking some bodies out of the way. And then loose puck finds Chris Kreider. And on a nice pass from Leo Carlsson, who once again, Uncle Leo, gets an assist, his 11th assist of the season. He now, before this game, had 15 points in 10 games. Make it 16 points in 11 games. Everybody's talking about Trevor Zegras, what he's doing in Philadelphia. That's in the past. Uncle Leo is here to stay. Leo Carlsson. He is headmanning. His passing tonight was as crisp as ever. And some of his passes that led to grade A scoring opportunities for the Anaheim Ducks was absolutely fantastic. Pavel Minchikov gets another assist on the empty netter by Chris Kreider. Final score, Anaheim 4, New Jersey 1. Ducks get a win. They improve to 7-3-1 in the regular season within the first 11 games of the season. Where does that put the Ducks? Well, let me look at the division for you. We're tied for first. How about them apples? We are in a 3-way tie for first place. Us, the Golden Knights, and the Edmonton Oilers. Man, I know it's only 11 games, and we're only an eighth of the way through the regular season. There's so much hockey left to be played. But what I'm seeing from the Anaheim Ducks is absolutely amazing. I think they are putting together what they preach in practice of Joel Quenneville and the staff to work day in and day out. And man, there's just so many good things to talk about. But let's get to some of your comments here. EQ, what's up, buddy? We have a team in Anaheim that is actually finally winning. Yes, because the Ducks rebuilt the right way. It was tough. It was excruciating for 4 or 5 seasons, but we got through it, and we are going to reap the benefits of a proper teardown and rebuild. Joshua, yes, indeed, as I just mentioned, first place in the Pacific standings, 7-3-1. And out of everybody in our division, the Ducks have the most wins within the division. Ducks 7-3-1, Vegas 6-2-3, Edmonton 6-4-3. So the Ducks hold the most wins in the Pacific Division. Wilbur, I know it's Spritz the Clock. We're so used to the Angels when we have the post-game show with Todd, the Spritz the Clock thing. We're not fixing, but we're going to integrate some more of the Angel post-game sights and sounds into the mix. So give us a little bit more time. Again, myself and Todd, we're still piecing together what works and what might not work in comparison to what Angel post-game shows are to what Ducks post-game shows are. But the more winning that happens, the more we're getting. And there's something new we're adding to the mix here in the post-game show tonight, made by the one and only producer of the Stars, Randy Yaz. Jesus saying back-to-back solid games. Absolutely. The 5-2 win against Detroit was solid, especially coming off of a huge road trip. 6 games, 11 days. You feel like you might have noodle legs, as I call them. You might get a little heavy. The Ducks have been without a couple of key players. Gudis has been out. Kreider was out most of that road trip, but he's playing very well coming back. Harkins has come back. Ryan Strome is still on the IR at this moment, hasn't seen the ice yet this year. But the Ducks continue to find a way to get it done, and that's the best case scenario with this team. Jesus, again, we're so back, and it's an understatement. Absolutely. First place. Did I have the Ducks through 11 games of the season in first place? No. I had Vegas, Edmonton, and the Kings finishing the regular season 1, 2, 3 in the division, with the Ducks kind of being 4th or 5th and sneaking into a wild card spot. Again, 11 games, 82 in the regular season. We still have a long way to go. But again, these are the moments we want to cherish as Ducks fans. Again, the last 5 or 6 years have been absolutely excruciating. You can't even explain the excruciating feelings of being the worst in the NHL, the worst franchise season. Basically selling players that you love because we needed draft picks and prospects in return. Rebuilding is agonizing. But Pat Verbeek, the Samuelis have done it the right way, even though it's taken a little extra time. I feel now we start seeing the ascent. Joel Quenneville was the man. They got him. Kreider coming over. Trouba last year coming over. I think the rise of Lacombe, McTavish, Seneca, Carlson. I think if the Ducks really hit a nice pace moving forward, win 7 of 10, go into December, even when the calendar flips to 2026 and we get to New Year's Day, if the Ducks can play extremely well like they've been doing in November and December, does that make the Ducks ownership and front office say, we can be buyers? The Ducks still have a lot of room in that cap to trade and make a move for a player or two. And this only sets up the Ducks extremely well going into next offseason and what will happen in the draft and free agency. You get a team like this to play so well, you can get outside free agents to buy in. And that's one of the things I didn't mention a moment ago, losing Gudis, Mikhail Gramlin, who's going to be out a couple of weeks with a lower body injury. And he's been very good for the Ducks early on this season. So there's a lot of hope and a lot of optimism here for the Ducks. Demetrio comes in saying he loves the speed through the neutral zone this year. We are skating. Yes, Joel Quenneville, that's one of his huge elements to a Joel Quenneville team. Your skating has to be on point. And I think the better you skate, the better you're going to be in the neutral zone. The better you are in the neutral zone, the better you can be on the forecheck. The better forecheck you have, the better opportunities you have to flip a switch and say, you know what? Even though we're either winning by a few or losing by a few, we can press the issue and be extremely more aggressive. The more aggressive the Ducks are, the more shots they get on goal, the more opportunities that get created. And I think that plays right into the coaching hands and how this team is designed. Seneca, Carlson, Kreider, the Toronto, all attacking upfront presence. And that's without talking as well about McTavish a lot and Troy Terry, who's been on a tear of late. So I really like what we're seeing from the Anaheim Ducks. This is really, really great stuff. And Dimitri also checking in saying, Seneca giving us Corey Perry vibes. I got to think on that one for a little bit. We've had the Solanis, we've had the Niedermeyers, we've had the Getzlofs, we had the Perrys. There are so many comparable players. How can you comp some of these players to some of the greats that have put on the Anaheim Ducks uniform, like the Couriers, like the J.S. Jaguars? I might need to digest that one, and not in a bad way, Demetrio. I might want to do a breakdown of how Perry and Seneca are alike. If you have your thoughts, put them in your comments. How is Beckett Seneca and Corey Perry very similar players? Again, next generation of Anaheim Ducks. Demetrio, fans out there, I want to hear from you. If you believe Seneca and Corey Perry are very similar, tell me how, and we'll have a discussion as we get deeper on here in the post-game show. But let's dive into the box score a little bit in this game. We got to the scoring breakdown of this game, but let's dive into the box score. Shots on goal in this game, 33-30 in favor of New Jersey. They were up 14-9 after the first, then 29-18 after the second, and then, of course, New Jersey has 12 shots on goal in the third, 11 for the Ducks. Very even keel game, I would say, in terms of shots on goal. But I think the Ducks just had the better of the chances at the end of the day. For the Ducks, a lot of people playing high ice time here tonight. Chris Kreider getting 1 point tonight on the empty net goal to end the game. Ryan Failing getting an assist. He has a 1.9. And then you have the guys on the same line, Seneca and Gauthier. Everybody talked about Cutter Gauthier when the trade was made for Jamie Drysdale 2 years ago. I can be perfectly honest. I was on not the fence. I was on the side of the equation that said, as much of a fan favorite as Jamie Drysdale was, I didn't see what he had to give to us. And right now, and that's no disrespect to Jamie Drysdale, maybe it was the coaching staff, maybe it was the time, it was the injuries. I just didn't believe that Jamie Drysdale could get the Ducks to the next level, especially when you had Zellweger as a defenseman coming up the pipeline. But to trade him and get Gauthier in return, that is a steal. That is an A+. I don't care what Jamie Drysdale's doing in Philadelphia. Cutter Gauthier is a dude. He is a big boy in the NHL, sniping shots here, there, and everywhere, and pulling together a 2-point night with a goal and an assist, just like the 19-year-old Beckett Seneca. Leo Carlsson gets an assist. Vetrano gets a goal. And then the defense tonight, that again has had to step up in multiple ways without Radko Gudas. You had Hellison, Lacombe, Zellweger, Trouba, Moore, and Minchikov. 3 defensemen get on the stat sheet. Lacombe, Trouba, Minchikov, all with assists tonight. And Trouba and Lacombe picking up big minutes, leading the way for defensemen with over 22 minutes on the ice. Alex Killorn gets the most time for the Ducks on the ice tonight with 17 minutes and 32 seconds. That brings us to the goaltending. Lukáš Dostál, Jesus criminy, my friend. 32 saves on 33 shots, a .970 save percentage. He allows just 1 goal in 60 minutes. 9 games, 5 wins for Dostál. His goals against average coming into tonight was 2.74. That's going to go down. His save percentage was .909. That's going to go up with this big performance here tonight. The Czech native, 6'2", 190 pounds, 25 years of age. The Ducks picked him up in the 3rd round of 2018. They had John Gibson at the time. Did we know Dostál was going to be the guy? No. Because you had Gibson, you knew he had a big contract, and was Gibson going to live out his final days in the NHL with the Anaheim Ducks? But the performance that Dostál has put out over the last 2 seasons, especially last year, huge, massive, integral, insert adjective here. Dostál is that dude. And again, it's 11 games into the season. We're really high on our Anaheim Ducks right now. Let us have this moment. Let us have this moment. Dostál is the dude. When you perform, and I'm just going to look at his last 5 games coming into tonight. A win against Detroit, a win against the Florida Panthers, a tough loss against Tampa Bay, a big win against Nashville, and then the tough, close game against Chicago in overtime. All quality matchups. Big performances nevertheless. The least amount of saves he had in those 5 games plus tonight was 28 against Nashville, and that was in a 5-2 win. He has put the team on his back, has gotten the job done, and even in the loss against Tampa and Chicago, he still looked really, really good. And this team as a whole, if you look at the 11 games and kind of piece them together and say, what has been good, what has been bad, what has been indifferent, you could pluck a lot of great games from the start of this season. The Detroit game, tonight's game, the Nashville win, opening night against Pittsburgh. There's a lot you can take. I would say out of the first 11 games, if I had to pick one game from the Anaheim Ducks that was learn from it, crumble it up in a ball, and just throw it the F away, it'd be opening night against Seattle. If you take that game out of the mix, the Ducks have looked very good the rest of the season. Yes, they lost to Carolina 4-1 at home. That game was 2-1 Carolina late in the 3rd period before some late goals came into the mix. Tampa Bay, they trailed by a lot, came back, couldn't quite seal the deal, but they battled in that game. Nothing by the Anaheim Ducks has looked so horrible where I'm just sitting here horrified, vomiting, and saying this is not the team I love. Again, the loss to Seattle sucked. The win against San Jose was great. The win against Pittsburgh, great. Carolina, Tough 4-1 loss, but a lot to learn in that game. Chicago loss probably should have been a win, but at least you made it to overtime and got a point. Nashville was great. Boston was great. Tampa, high-quality team in Tampa. You learned from that game, but they still look good. Big win against Florida, even though they almost let it slip away. The big win against Detroit, and then the big win against New Jersey tonight. There's really hardly any blemishes on this Ducks season so far. It would probably be the biggest blemish against Seattle, where they were great in one period and fell asleep at the wheel in the second and third. So overall, I would say for the first 11 games, I'm giving the Ducks an A-. Really, I might be drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, but I think the Ducks have been really, really good throughout this first eighth of the regular season. Man, comments are coming in, and Demetrio brings his breakdown of why Seneca and Corey Perry have very similar vibes. Seneca crashes the net, has long arms similar to Perry, both skilled driving to the net, both hang around in the blue paint, messing with the goaltender, both get under the defense's skin, and it's still early. You're not wrong. I detect no lies. I detect truth. And this kid is freaking 19. 19 years old, and Seneca's doing that already. Now, of course, you know in a young NHLer's career, he's going to set the league on watch, and he's going to have his way. Now, at some point this season, the league is going to figure out Seneca, and now he'll have to do the chess game of readjusting to the league. That's just natural with any player. You can get on a hot streak, the league figures you out, you got to then contort. But with this coaching staff and the veteranship around the Anaheim Ducks right now, I think there's absolutely no reason why Beckett Seneca can't be a huge part. And I think all the talk about he needs to go back to the AHL and they were only going to have him for a few weeks just so they wouldn't start his rookie clock. Throw that away. Seneca stays. Do not send him down. This guy, he's with this core. He's making the relationships with the veterans and the youth movement here. You can see the comparability and the camaraderie and the connection he has on the line pairing, especially with Cutter Gauthier. Seneca has played at times at the top line, and I wouldn't be shocked if he gets more and more time on the secondary units for the power play. If he continues to prove that he's a menace, just like Demetrio was saying, with the crashing, the skills, the hand around the blue paint, messing with the goaltender, he can be an integral part of the freaking power play that keeps getting better and better as we go on through the season. Halo Joe in the house. What's up, my good sir? Good to talk to you. Thank you so much for tuning into the post-game show tonight. Ducks are laying it down. I know, Halo Joe, I know you're a Kings fan. We'll have a lot to talk about when the Ducks and the Kings get together. But hey, when both teams in Southern California, the Ducks and Kings, are playing at a high level, you know those games in the freeway face-off are going to mean so much more. And I can't wait for those games. Not because it's great to beat the Kings as a Ducks fan, but to see high-quality hockey in Orange County and LA County is going to be so huge for the fans, for the players, and for the community. And, of course, yes, I know, go Kings, and whatever. We're in first right now, baby. Let us have this moment because we know with the Angels, we don't get these moments. So the Ducks that rebuilt the right way, we get to enjoy this a little bit, and I think it's absolutely great. And Demetrio finally adds, Seneca can gain 15 to 20 more pounds, but he's NHL ready. Adding weight, adding bulk in the NHL is never a bad thing. 15, 20, 25 pounds of muscle. He's 19 years old. McTavish is locked up. Lacombe is locked up. McTavish, Terry, Carlson, Seneca, Gauthier. Man, oh man, this young core for the Ducks. Watch out, NHL. Watch out. It's going to take time. We've been saying this for a while. But I detect no lies. I detect nothing bad. This is a great start to this Anaheim Ducks season, and it's only going to get better. The brand new thing I wanted to tell you guys about the Ducks post-game show here on Halos in the Infield with yours truly, Dominic Lorenz of Catella Chronicles, our good buddy Randy Yaz, the producer to the Stars, who does everything upon everything for the network. He has created an amazing 25-second video because, on the Angels postgame show, we have the Nacho of the Day award. You have the Golden Stamos as well, Spritz the Clock, all those fun things. Well, again, we're building up here on the Anaheim Ducks postgame show here on the network. And every night, we're going to bring you what we believe are the 3 stars of the night. Regardless if they're just from Anaheim or from the opposing team, regardless of how it goes, we are going to bring you our version of the 3 stars of the night. So that'll be kind of like our quote-unquote Golden Stamos Award. So for those that maybe aren't as familiar with Ducks hockey or that Halos in the Infield and Catella Chronicles are doing these post-game shows now, if you remember from Todd Fox and his post-game shows, we're going to start incorporating some of the post-game show awards. So the 3 stars of the game will be the equivalent of the Golden Stamos. We haven't quite figured out what the quote-unquote Nacho Award is going to be. We're thinking of some Ducks, verbiage or whatever, but we'll get to it. Have no fear. But on a night like tonight where the Ducks defeat the New Jersey Devils, a very strong team in the Eastern Conference, by the final of 4-1, it's time for the Anaheim Ducks, Halos in the Infield, and Catella Chronicles 3 stars of the game. Yes, indeed. It's time for the 3 stars of the game for tonight's win as the Ducks defeat the New Jersey Devils by the final of 4-1. Glad to have you along with us here on the Halos in the Infield post-game show. Let's dive into the box score. And tonight, because it's the first time premiering that video from Randy Yaz, the 3 stars of the game are going to be all Anaheim Ducks. No doubt about it. Quick and simple. There is no doubt in my mind how this is going to go. Your number 3 star of the game, voted by the broadcast media. That would be me for tonight's game, as they say at Honda Center with the voice of Honda Center, Phil Hewlett. It's going to go to Cutter Gauthier. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points on the night, almost 17 minutes on the ice. Cutter has been absolutely killing it this year. And Cutter Gauthier coming into tonight in 10 games, he had 6 goals, 4 assists. Add that up, now in 11 games, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points on the season. Cutter Gauthier, your number 3 star of the game. Moving on down to the number 2 star of the game, voted by the broadcast media. That would be me for here tonight. It's a toss-up. I think it could go one of 2 ways, but I'm going to give it to our netminder. Lukasz Dostal gets the number 2 star of the game. 32 saves on 33 shots, a save percentage of .970. Boy, oh boy, big opportunities. Dostal came up big in the third period, especially late when it was 3-1, and the Devils emptied their net and had a 6-on-5 advantage. Dostal's been playing out of his mind. He's playing like a number 1 goaltender. He looks great. He feels great. I don't know what more you can say. He has been a rock for us this season, and with the backup goaltender being Peter Mrazek, who's probably not going to get as many starts as the Ducks have had in the past for backup netminders, they're going to roll. And luckily for the Ducks right now, looking at their schedule, the Ducks are very lucky that there has not been any back-to-backs this season. The only time the Ducks have had a back-to-back, never. The Ducks have not had a back-to-back yet this season. So I think that's what's aided Dostal playing in more games than usual this early in the season. The first time the Anaheim Ducks are going to have a back-to-back situation will be on the next homestand, November 19th and 20th. The 19th at home against Boston, the 20th at home against Ottawa. So that'll be kind of the first time we see Mrazek, Dostal, who gets game 1, who gets game 2. Because right now, the Ducks this week and next week are playing exactly the same days. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm wrong. Alert, alert, I'm wrong. Dominic makes a mistake. I look back at the schedule now. The Ducks have a back-to-back this upcoming weekend. It looked different because one was in orange and one was in gray for home and road. So the Boston-Ottawa is the first home back-to-back. The first official back-to-back, regardless of home or away, this upcoming weekend. Saturday in Vegas, 7 o'clock game. Sunday at home against Winnipeg. So that's two huge games for the Anaheim Ducks against two worthy opponents. Vegas, a competitor in the division. Winnipeg, a strong suitor in the Western Conference. So the Ducks twice in the month of November have back-to-backs. The 8th and the 9th will be a road and home back-to-back, Vegas-Winnipeg. And then the 19th and 20th, Boston-Ottawa, home and home back-to-back. So we'll see how Joe Quenneville plays it. If it's me, you have Florida on Tuesday, Thursday in Dallas. Dote Stahl's not going to start 2 games in a row. So would you put Mrazek against Vegas? Or do you put Mrazek against Winnipeg? To me, interdivision games are a little more important. Put Dostal in Vegas and see what happens. Absolutely. I think with Dostal getting the number 2 star, I think that's absolutely what needs to happen. Dostal was such a huge threat tonight, and he got the job done in such a big way. Number 1 star, not even a question. We've talked about him tonight multiple times, and Demetrio has said it best. It's Beckett Seneca. 1 goal, 1 assist. The 19-year-old has looked absolutely NHL polished. He continues to stay strong on this roster. He is meshing well with the youngsters and the veterans on this team. He is a boy amongst men right now, playing at such a high level. 19 years of age, doesn't turn 20 until January. And he's going to keep rolling at this point. Absolutely. Let's absolutely get it. Girl Master coming in. Hello to you, my good friend. Great game for the Ducks tonight. Absolutely. Let's go Ducks. Ducks fly together. A 4-1 win against New Jersey. But there are your 3 stars of the game tonight. Number 3, Cutter Gauthier. Number 2, Lukáš Dostal. And number 1, Beckett Seneca. The Ducks 7-3-1 to kick off the regular season. They are now in a 3-way tie for first place in the Pacific Division. The Ducks 7-3-1, good for 15 points. Vegas tied second place, 6-3-2, 15 points. And Edmonton at 6-4-3, good for 15 points. How does the rest of the division look at this time tonight? The Kraken in 4th place with 14 points. The Kings in 5th place at 14 points. Vancouver in 6th place at 12 points. San Jose in 7th with 11 points. And at the bottom, the Calgary Flames in 8th place with 8 points. So overall, looking great for the Ducks. If you look at the Ducks in the whole Western Conference now, the Ducks are the 4th best team in the Western Conference behind Colorado, Winnipeg, Utah, and there go the Ducks. Colorado's the best team with 19 points. And then in the entire NHL, the Ducks are 8th best in the NHL. You have Colorado, Winnipeg, Montreal, New Jersey, who the Ducks just beat, Pittsburgh, who the Ducks have beat, Detroit, who the Ducks have beaten, and Utah, who the Ducks have yet to play yet, and then the Anaheim Ducks. So the Ducks right now 4 points out of being the best in the NHL. And looking at who's above them, the Ducks have beaten 3 of the 7 teams above them in the overall NHL standings. I think it's been an absolute great season for the Anaheim Ducks. They continue to cruise through the first 11 games. How does the next couple games look for Anaheim before we finish up here on the Halos in the Infield and Catella Chronicles post-game show here on the HITI Network? The Ducks will return to action on Tuesday, November the 4th, against the Florida Panthers, a team that they beat in a shootout 3-2 last week on the road trip. So Florida's going to be looking for a little bit of revenge, but the Ducks look at a cruise and make it an even bigger winning streak. The Ducks right now on a 3-game winning streak, the shootout win against Florida, the win against Detroit on Friday, and tonight's win against New Jersey. For the rest of the week, After the Florida game on Tuesday, Thursday on the road in Dallas against the Stars with a 5 o'clock puck drop. Saturday in Vegas, 7 o'clock puck drop. And then back-to-back Sunday, next Sunday, November the 9th, a 7 o'clock, a late one on a Sunday. Again, Veterans Day weekend next weekend. So probably the Anaheim Ducks PR department and marketing team says people are going to be out. Let's have a later game. And a smart move for the Ducks. Normally, Sunday games at home are around 5 o'clock. But with a back-to-back in Vegas the night before, the game will probably end 9:30, 10 o'clock. They'll hop on the plane back to Anaheim really late. That gives them an extra 2 hours of sleep, an extra 2 hours of getting ready next Sunday. So instead of a 5 o'clock puck drop against Winnipeg, it'll be a 7 o'clock puck drop on the back end of a back-to-back. So 4 games to wrap up this week. At home against Florida on Tuesday, at Dallas Thursday, at Vegas Saturday, and home against the Winnipeg Jets next Sunday. Ducks get the job done here tonight with a 4-1 victory against the New Jersey Devils. Goals today coming from all sorts of Anaheim Ducks. Shots on goal, 33 to 30 in favor of the New Jersey Devils, but it's the Ducks. Seneca, his 4th of the year. Vetrano, his 1st of the year. Cutter Gauthier, his 7th of the year. And Chris Kreider's empty netter, his 6th of the year. Get the job done. Lukas Dostal, 32 saves and 33 shots. And the Anaheim Ducks beat the New Jersey Devils, who are a very high-quality team in the Eastern Conference. Big win for Anaheim. Absolutely a great night. And another sellout crowd at Honda Center. People are flocking towards Honda Center. It is a ruckus crowd. I haven't been since opening night. But if opening night was any indication to what the season could be for the Anaheim Ducks, tip of the cap. The fans are amazing. The Ducks are going to have a great season. We are living right here 11 games in the season with an 7-3-1 record and a top of the Pacific Division in a 3-way tie between us, Vegas, and Edmonton. That'll do it tonight here for the Anaheim Ducks post-game show here on the Halos in the Infield Network. I'm Dominic Lorenz of Catella Chronicles. Don't forget to join our friend Zach Gray and his Ducks Game Day Breakdown page on Instagram. He'll be breaking down this game and probably getting you the video in the morning. Todd and I, probably Tuesday night after the game against the Panthers, we will probably both come on and have the post-game show for you. And then tomorrow night, Monday, you might sniff out a first month of the season podcast with Todd and I. We'll get together, probably come out to the YouTube channel and get ready to go for that at probably tomorrow, but if not, at some point this week. We haven't done a whole full-on podcast yet this season to kind of encapsulate what this opening part of the season has been like for the Ducks, but they're going to get cracking and get going. Ducks win tonight, 4-1 against New Jersey, first place in the division, 8th in the NHL, and boy, oh boy, let's go. Let's go, Ducks. Ducks fly together. We love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the page. Don't forget our friends at 714 Tickets, Brewheim, the OC Dugout, and Max Market Pros. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, all the sites. You know where to go. And you can also follow us at Catella Chronicles, at Catella_CHRON on X and Instagram. That'll do it tonight, fans. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And we'll check back in with you Tuesday after the Ducks and Panthers game at Honda Center. Ducks win tonight. You know how it goes. Be happy, be healthy. Ducks fly together. We love you guys. And we'll see you Tuesday against the Panthers. Cheers.